And welcome everyone. We have a very special occasion here on the equinox of spring. We're going to be studying two of the foundational movements that are called Dai Kihon of Shintaido, Tenshin Goso and Eiko. And I've asked Ito Sensei, if he would please give us his distillations of what he's learned in what I think is close to 60 years of studying these two very foundational movements that, at least according to the Shintaido book, were dated as originating in about 1965 and 1966. So we're fortunate we have someone here from the Rakutenkai time. And I also appreciate Ito because he's diligently studied it and he gives us such great perspective on his teaching. So Ito Sensei, welcome. We're glad to have you here. And now we will spotlight you, Ito.
In this case, I greet with Italian. Buongiorno. Thank you for GTC, Global Time Community staff, organizing this workshop. Great pleasure to meet you again. First, I like to do Tenshin Goso, and then 10-15 minutes break. And another 45 minutes Eiko. Reviewing it's related most of my life development Tenshin also my understanding evolved. So simply speaking, 1980 through 1990, my practice of Tenshin also or Eiko very much focused to martial art, Shintaido as a martial art, and more technical, and then how we can apply or adapt Tenshin Goso Eiko into actual martial art movement. And I could study a lot, and I was happy about it. Then starting 00, my focus of studying Shintaido and sharing Shintaido got changed. Kaiho-kei to Yoki-kei. And even simply it's not Yoki-kei. This is my way of describing Shintaido as an outreaching program. Shintaido for anybody. Not only for young, healthy, strong, energetic people. Also to those who has physical and mental limitation, especially after I started the meditation workshop 2009 after 9/11 tragedy. Many of you may know about how much or program I came up at Day Street Dojo exercise. So I'd like to review some of them today. So another advice we are practicing at virtual dojo. Each of you are in your own space. Probably most of you are indoor. Please remember, please call back the memory which you have practiced in the big nature. So for instance, those who practice Shintaido a long time in the Bay Area may remember big flat field on the hill at Santa Cruz University, where we had the Aoki 90s event. And of course, those who practice in UK, my memory is Gawa Beach. So that's great nature. And then in Massachusetts, we had a nice Mount Hermon. I think it's some retreat center in Mount Hermon, Massachusetts, surrounded by hill wood like this. I want each of you to go do kind of time trip, go back to past. And the way you do exercise, just imagination, with strong imagination, you do this movement in this field, space. And of course, right now, because we do virtual dojo, our space is limited. But I want you to keep your imagination big. Another thing that I like to review is, for me, Tenshin Goso is the kind of technique, philosophy I study to develop good human relationship while I am in present life. And Eiko Dai, of course, Eiko or Eiko Dai, we practice actually. I did a lot of Eiko Dai like this. But at last, this is a preparation for afterlife in the future, trip to Nirvana. So I wrote an article, short article about Eiko Dai, Tenshin Goso, cosmology. What I believe about Tenshin Goso Eiko is the same way, appreciating. So that's, and what's the other one? Okay, first I like to review the word Tenshin Goso. For instance, 5-6 arrangement I made, talking about Tenshin Goso. 5-6 arrangement I made at Day Street Dojo. One of the, many of you already studied, I think, Tenshin Goso as a Kotodama training. Kotodama is Japanese Shinto philosophy. The word or sound we make has its own power and spirit. So intention also, as you know, we make sound of a, e, o. Then I reintroduce again Tenshin also as a sword movement. Then recently, I am more, how do you call it, keen about studying the difference between in temposition meditation, you know, the ki ichi and musoi. For instance, Tenshin Goso is the same as temposition meditation, musoi. And then Seiri Dai, when you stand up straight with feet is just about parallel and short otherwise. That's ki ichi. I'm trying to deep my understanding, appreciation of difference between ki ichi and musoi. So I like to share what I found. These different. So anyway, let's practice. Let's start with the chair exercise. I want to start with, remember, stamping exercise, Ishian. This is a warming up. Not Tenshin Goso yet, okay? Keep distance, your back and back support here like this. And lift one side of Ishian and other side, like stamping, but with Ishian. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Way. Exaggerate. Slowly. So everyone remember this one. And now rolling ischium on the chair like this. And roll back. So when you push out your stomach, slightly open your knee. And when you pull back, roll back your ischium, close your knee, not tight, but more. Rolling front, arm. One more time, side by side, stamping mode. And from Jigon's point of view, this side movement is really good for our digestion system, internal organ. And movement of forward back is very effective. Our breathing, the chest and lung and throat. And exaggerate, lean back. Lean back, inhale. Leaning forward, exhale. And look down. Yeah. Let this movement, middle part of your body, influence the shoulder joint area. Start lifting your elbow and drop. Inhale. And still rolling your ischium. So middle part from ischium, coccyx, and like this snake mode, waving mode, until the top of your skull. Back to side movement, slowly. Open your stance, so you have good balance. And it will exactly wave. Inhale, standing up, setting up, exhaling. And open your neck, side of your neck. And slowly reduce the movement. And at last, aware your ischium, the balance, weight balance over ischium. 50-50. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, ascent. Exhale and descend. And when you do descend, don't do not arrive like melting ice cream mode. That's broken English. So still keep tension and relax, everything go down. Inhale, ascend, and exhale, descend. Inhale and exhale. Hara breathing, diaphragm. Inhale and exhale. And slow down. Now let's start basic tension also. Ideally feet together. And look down and navel, lower back, middle part, lower back, which is straight behind your belly button here. Open. Then open your finger and let your eye raise your eye. And on the chair, you can lean back. And slowly lift. And cut and open, space in front of the little fingers. Let your eye travel, look up and look forward. Slightly look down. Don't look down like this, but look down. Air pressure to the ground. And reach out. This time, do not lean back. And let your eye travel again. Right hand go over the left hand. And put your feet together, if it's possible, your feet together and knee together. And hand go in front of your lower abdomen. Okay, that's reviewing tenshin also, basic form tenshin also. Now, kotodama exercise. End of O, then hand go over the right hand go over the front and pull back, and slowly cover your lower abdomen and feet and knee together if it's possible. If it's difficult, make it just narrow. Okay, humming. Gently close your mouth and inhale. So usually O and directly, but this kotodama exercise, end of O, and on purpose, please pronounce, make sound you, call. Next one is not complete tension also. From here like this, the is end of tension also is beginning of tension also, right? So from here, open, and you can lean back if you want with and make a sound. And instead of going up from here, like end of O here like this. O, U, and inhale a little bit and repeat. Keep going. So that's one arrangement. Other one is from here. Instead of skip this part of A and A. A and A. Okay, start from here. Keep going. Last half of A and A and the first half of E. One more round. Next arrangement, last half of E and continue the sound. Exhale like this. E. Keep going. Chord. Last one. It's a challenge. E, O, instead of big O like this, small O, and O. Ready? Call. Till finally, every part of tenshin also, two advice. Instead of expanding, modify, movement modify. The size is also modified. So for instance, O could be this way. Okay. And then other one is one breath, ideally one breath, continually, but ideally one breath. But in between, when you run out air, of course, you can suck the air, oxygen, and you keep going. Okay. Ready. And also last, when you arrive, for instance, A-E-O, or you end up doing 1 minute, 2 minutes. I want you to stay 1 or 2 minutes. It's quite long. But I realize this is very important. I tell you later. 英語には、Just one more time. Reduce size of movement and stay in as much time you spend R-A-E-O. Okay, everyone come back. Tell me what you feel, how you felt.
I felt like the movements and the sound are a big circle, and then the is the kind of dot at the end of the circle. Just
Thank you.
Hello. I found the movements were getting smaller and smaller. It's like a fountain coming slower.
Good one.
I was thinking about the feeling the breath that I needed to hold the sound. But when I came to suddenly my body was changed into like a massive bellows. I felt my lungs expanding and contracting like it was very interesting. I hadn't really seen that before. Like it was just operating.
Well, usually when I do Tenshin Goso, each voice is and breathing, maybe a little bit more separated. And this time, doing it with one breath, very interesting in between sound with such a new discovery for me. How that's in between. And although the movement, we did it in a small way, somehow with the voice, continual voice, there was a different kind of expansion I felt inside. And then coming to the at the end, somehow went even deeper.
For me, it was like a flow, flowing.
Not divided.
Yeah, it was smooth.
That's good.
I prefer that.
I felt much more of the sensation of rest coming into play. Like, I know that the movements were flowing continuously, but that elongating and resting, the vibration always feels good, but there is something about a message of rest. You know, don't push, don't be hard, don't force yourself to anything. So rest was a sensation going through me.
I felt something like that also, and especially at the moment, rest is good, but it wasn't only that, it was peacefulness that was there. There was kind of manifestation, but there was also something there, whether there was manifestation or no manifestation. It was some kind of form of connection. And I was interested because there was more of a connection between like the top of the head and the coccyx, like a sort of a more of a flow in the body than I'm normally aware of. I think I get caught up with the sound and the movement, and because we had a longer I was able to appreciate that a bit more than usual.
Personally, I like the transition between each of the sounds. So, you know, it's like I can't all the time get all the way through, but it's like when in my own ear, it's and it but it's the different vibrations from each one that I can feel, and it just I like it. I'm hoping that I can get all the way through for a more extended period of time. So yeah, cool.
Thank you sharing your feedback. This is what I think, how I felt. In text, Aoki Sensei, text of Aoki Sensei wrote about Tenshin Goso. Tenshin Goso is called A-E-I-O-U. People think this 5 movement, but in his text, actually Tenshin Goso has at least three section, three different what the part of are, and A also 2 or 3, and E also 2 or 3, and O there is O beginning, and here and here and O. So O could be divided by 4, but I mean for feeling. So tenshin also it is well known as a 5 movement, but in his text, tenshin also can, he could say tenshin also is a 12 to 13, 14 movement. That's the movement itself. But when I start doing this exercise, just like Bev described, we start hearing how to say weird sound, which you making, but we end up hearing weird sound, and it is said that is kotodama. That's the kotodama effect, give effect to yourself and atmosphere around you. And this is traditional Japanese Shinto philosophy, but Rudolf Steiner method. Many Steiner methods getting popular, especially about farming, organic. But I visited one time. I visited the dome theater he designed and built it when I was visiting Switzerland, Bern, Switzerland. My friend John Krebs took me to this dome theater, and this is dome theater, right? I did tenshin also there. And that time I was not practicing not one, not just but echo will come back. When you start doing echo of is coming, and when you finish that, when you start doing E, echo of A is coming like this, and it's dome theater. So vibration, sound is sound start going through my body, every direction. Yeah. So that, like X-ray can go through the body like this, and the sound can go through. Then dome theater, so the echo. So echo usually come from dome theater from here, but at last it starts like fountain. It's coming up like this, and I had really interesting experience. So I think he didn't say exactly. He didn't mention exactly what the kotodama, but I realize idea is very similar. And then Jung also, Carl Jung also described this kind of mysterious effect of the East. He mainly talked about the yoga experience, but so it's not only simply monoculture Japanese idea. And another thing that I described already, Hindu exercise, kotodama kind of kotodama exercise, Hindu is aum only. But traditional Japanese Shinto kotodama exercise, which has been practiced by Master Ueshiba, founder of Aikido. Order of sound is different. In Shintaido, A-E-I-O-U. And traditional Kotodama exercise in Japan is sounds like Yahweh, Yahweh in the Old Testament. But anyway, that's the way we practice. And then I think our sensei got idea is combine aun no kokyu, aun and aeo, aowei, aowei didn't have our sensei put together, and that's how he found what Tenshin also came up. So it became one of the best product of Aoki art. So that's my memory. Anyway, the last one about Musoi. It took a long time, almost more than 70 years to start appreciating Musoi and the difference between Ki-ichi, just to say this Tai, and Musoi. And many of you know that it's described beginning of Tenshin Goso from here, and opening like this. All of a sudden, the light spread, light is coming out, and a little bit like in the morning, suns start coming out on the mountain. Like this. In the beginning, like this, getting darker. All of a sudden, I don't know, it's head of sun here, like this, come out like this, and all of a sudden, light go. Then getting brighter. So that's the way I studied this part of Tenshin also, beginning of the day. And then, of course, this is the birth of our human life. This is birth, moment of the time we are born. But Tenshin Goso Gun is the one, and 10 position meditation, Tenshin Goso Gun, pose of Tenshin Goso Gun, our sensei named it Musoi, and translated the non-phenomenon. And when I teach Musoi or Tenshin Goso Gun, I kept using my translation, non-phenomenon, pause of non-phenomenon. But the other day, when at the Kangeiko, Shintaido America Kangeiko, Ura was a guest instructor, and Ura ended up technical terms, very simple technical term. She said, if my memory is correct, she said, this is a form or stage of no matter. And then so many things click in my mind, because in casual English, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So that's the way I studied English. Right? And then also cosmology, the recent cosmology great scholar end up talking about dark matter, dark matter. What we see in the great universe, night sky like this, is only maximum 5% that we are seeing. But the rest of them are itself dark matter. So many things crack or click. So Musoi meant we are connecting ourselves dark matter. We are arriving in dark matter. So that's the way logically I understand. Okay, maybe. And then you know that I study Tai Chi. In Tai Chi, there is a word Mu Kyoku. Kyoku is, for instance, Hokkyoku is north end, and Nankyoku is south end. Okay, south pole, north pole, like this. And Kyoku is extreme end, extreme end. And in Tai Chi, you talk about Mukyoku. Mukyoku. Mukyoku is another word I studied in kanji, and then that's very close to the muso. And then another kanji we use misho. Misho is not born yet. Not born yet. Misho. And the last one is mumyo. Mumyo is no brightness. No brightness. Then finally, Japanese has a kanji. It's called yami. Yami. And the kanji of yami is very interesting. This is take long time, so very difficult to describe everything. But the gate, top of kanji is, or around the kanji is a gate, and inside of this kanji, surrounded, is if it's yami, darkness, is supposed to be light, hikari. But in kanji, it said the sound. That's the way we read it, yami. Yami means darkness. So sound surrounded by gate, and which is very difficult. Kanji of yami is very difficult to translate it in English. But my guess is mukyoku, mumyo, misho, mumyo, and mukyoku, and muso could be different culture has a different technical term, but it could be same. Then this is the one our sensei is talking about it. And it's not philosophically he's describing, but he's artist, so he make it in the pose. He recommended us to make this pose. By doing this pose, my guess is he wants us to arrive this level of mind, body, spirit. So anyway, so that's why when I teach Tenshin Goso on the chair, I used to do like this, simply like this. But I'm more serious of putting feet together, knee together, and you don't need to lean forward like this, and open Meimon here, and stay longer. As much time you spend, a, e, o, and beginning of is, of course, you moving. Then at last, after you arrive here like this, so I rather translate it pause of no matter, like dark matter. So I practice more. We practice more later because teaching was Eiko Dai start from here too. So how much time we have? Oh, we're running out of time. So let's have a short break, 15 minutes break, and we'll continue about this pose of no matter. That will be beginning of echo echo exercise. So let's have 15 minutes break. Okay, let's go to Eiko Dai. Eiko Dai. And this time, when you're tired, you can sit down on the chair anytime. But I want you to stand up. So say this time, just stand up. And one foot, make it narrow. So if you open like this, it's very steady, easy to balance out, especially side, very steady. You got to push the front or back, of course, like this, but still the feet itself help you to balance. But if you make it narrow a little bit, different from side. Wow. It's not wakame. A bit more narrow, about 1 inch, less than 1 inch between. And close your eyes. Closing your eyes in Japanese called mumyo, no brightness, no light. Okay, open your eyes and more narrow. Not necessarily touching the toe, interior side of your feet, narrow. And close your eyes. And now interior side of your leg and your feet together. And first, keep eye opening. So rest stable. Ooh. And close your eye. Very unstable. Open your eye, check your feet, and tension also pause of this mudra, and relax your shoulder, and to let your mudra arrive just in front of your lower abdomen, not touching, not tightening, just relax. And everything, let everything, shoulder and arm, follow the gravity. And here we go, close your eye. And open Memon. And look down. And face down. Very sorry, we don't have enough time. And release mudra and let your arm follow the gravity. Then slowly open your stance. And kind of say it's Tai mode or Ki Ichi mode. And open your eye. I want you to feel difference, effect. Go to your mind and body. Okay, take time, slowly back to Musoi. Feet together, interior side of your leg spread together. And close your eye and open them on and let forehead go down, face down. Back to Kiichi, Sei's Tai. Okay. Little, I like to share. First, I like to hear from few people. How did you feel, especially when you are in Musoi?
Hello. Yeah, in Musoi, I feel very quiet, calm, and safe, and internal. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just dropping, that feeling.
Good.
Musui, I found I was very aware of something, thinking, movement inside, a little bit of swaying, and a feeling of energy coming up and down. And then in ready stance, I felt more like expanding, like obviously more stable, but more like Michelin Man, bit like sort of growing outwards in all directions rather than going up and down so much.
Did you say Musoi is more stable than Ki-ichi opening stance?
No, more unstable.
Yeah, that's I thought. That's I feel.
But more in kind of the other thing I got from Musoi is I felt that the energy was trying to remove tension from my shoulders. Yes. I felt like things were it was like something inside was looking for the tensions and going to them and asking them to let go. So a lot of internal sort of activity.
Yes, for me, I always felt uncomfortable to be in little bit unstable. But today was interesting because I felt like, oh, it's like in the life, you know, trying to find the right attitude. You know, so many events always, and this one was more like, oh, trying to find the right attitude. So it was interesting. I will think about it. So.
Thank you.
In Muso, I didn't feel very comfortable sometimes, like a bit heavy. But I felt I was rolling inside. It was a bit strange, and expanding, like rolling, was just strange. And in Ki-ichi, I felt my chest needed to open.
Chest got open.
I felt something was opposite, or just don't know.
I see.
Like I felt I needed to open. Just I don't know. That's interesting. Interesting feeling physically.
So in that unstable bit, when I found that there was times when I could reach a sort of equilibrium momentarily within the unstableness, and then I thought, well, this is a moment to find that equilibrium and balance. And today is the spring equinox, where we have equal day and night, where there's this opportunity to really find balance. And I could find it sometimes just with the breath, when I would be in totality, or in that harmony with the breath. And then there was stability there.
Thank you.
Only momentarily, not lasting, but yeah, that kind of perfection for a second. It felt very eternal at that time.
It took a long time, as I told you, maybe 70 years, 60, 70 years, start appreciating Musoi. And then I can guess now I can guess what our sensei wanted to teach or whatever in Aoki art, what he put this. Anyway, the way, I agree everyone. This one is very unstable and sometimes uncomfortable. Not throwing up, kind of uncomfortable, but oh, where am I? That kind of. I think this is unstable and kind of uncomfortable feeling is very important. Another way of describing very difficult to have confidence. Confidence. This is another one, another thing, and uncomfortable. And this pose like this is almost difficult to be proud of yourself. Very humble, yeah, and very weak, and not independent. So many things like this. And extending this idea like this, it's more like humble mode, humble, very humble, and almost regretting mode. After you made a mistake, of course, you end up reviewing yourself, or what did I do? Some, so many things. In our life, sometimes we have to go this stage. Anyway, simply speaking, if someone is too proud of himself like this, it is said Tenshin Osogun, study Tenshin Osogun is very important. And as I told you many times, I study, I practice underwater diving. And actually from top of surface water like this, and it go down. And if it's, for instance, 10, 20, 30 meter depth, so we arrive it, and we end up arriving bottom of ocean. Then at the bottom of ocean, I tried it. And as you know, the water is moving like this. So the more the calmer you make yourself, the more strong effect to my body. So in a way, uncomfortable, very unstable, and so this kind of thing. But anyway, because we closed our eye, and when I went down to the bottom of ocean, and it's unstable like this, of course, I have not clear memory, but I could imagine well, long time ago, when I was in my mom's womb, I was floating in the water. So anyway, Aoki Sensei studied many things, and one of his specialty, I mean, kind of specialty category he studied is biology. And I'm sure he studied human embryo also. So then another thing is kind of philosophical. This part I need Nagako, I need your help. This eternal philosophical theme. 存在と無。How do you say 存在と無? Existence. 無。Nothing. Yeah, 存在と無。So, of course, Ura translated very well. The pose or stage of no matter, or yami, complete darkness, or before the verse, so many things like this. And there was this kind of concept, and it's very important for each of us as a human to understand, to appreciate this level or this kind of consciousness. So that's why Aoki Sensei put Musoi in Tenshin also very seriously. And many of you know the Chinese philosophy, yin and yang, yin and yang. And in Aoki Sensei's textbook, Tenshin also, I, E, O is more like daytime, is nighttime, that kind of difference. So many things like this. So Musoi represent opposite side of world of hikari, brightness, shining world. So Musoi. So this kind of going back, this kind of unstable and uncomfortable whatever world feeling is very important and makes you more humble. So anyway, that's my appreciation, latest appreciation of Musoi. But anyway, everyone knows Eiko Dai. And of course, we cannot do Eiko Dai right now. But from complete darkness like this, let's do slowly. Like nature document, slow motion, super slow movement. And Eiko Dai running. And imagine you're running. And if you keep running like this, it's very natural. You get tired and you end up losing your guts like this. But imagine you are so tired, long Eiko Dai, but still you keep going like this. Then like you can see the tail lamp, driving like this, sometimes bright and weak and strong, weak and strong. So Eiko Dai, end of Eiko Dai, imagine that you are end of Eiko Dai, and your Kaishoken becomes really soft like this. And one more time with your willpower like this, you open. Don't open like this, like a flashlight. Flashlight became much brighter. Yes, and look up. And you keep running. Again, you start losing energy. Relax. And your guts come back. Up. So let your eye travel. You look down slowly and look up. Your eye movement itself let you keep going. Let your eye lift, go up like this, and kaishoken as wide as possible, as wide as possible. Yes. Then you get tired and kind of arriving musoken, and you get your guts back and go, go, go. And last, they go, 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 go. And back to Tenso. Ah, ah, ah. And go ahead, Shoko, slowly imagine you are running Eiko Dai on the Gawa beach, Santa Cruz. Go, 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 go. More Kaishoken, 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 Kaishoken. As you do Kaishoken, your lower back got curved. And finally, stick out your tongue. Open your eye. And lift your eye. Like Ageoroshi mode in Bojutsu. Ah, 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 ah. And directly from and hand got closer. And put your feet together and close your eye. Okay, you don't need to shout, but gentle sound expression. You go ahead. Kaishoken, 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 Kaishoken. And cutting down. Yes, stick out your tongue. I become weak again. Yeah. Lifting angle of your eye. Kaishoken, kaishoken, kaishoken. Ah, I back to. Again. Tell me how you felt.
I really wanted to appreciate that image of the tail lights kind of fading and then getting bright. That sort of, yes, like, oh, I think I'm going to die now, but oh, I've got a bit more left. That feeling of I've got nothing left, but actually I've got a lot left. It was great to have that image. Thank you very much.
You know, the flashlight battery is going out.
Yeah.
And you shake or something like this, and then that's the image I have. Until last squeeze of your key. But actually, I'm sure you experienced many times kaikyaku show jumping on the beach like this, and you're tired like this, and you get guts back, and again kaikyaku show you can do, and they keep going like this, tired, and you start crawling like this. Then again, ongoing. So. Eco Dai, how long you can go is very much like up to you, up to each of us. When you lose guts, it's go. That's the end.
Yeah.
But if you tiny guts come back, that's my experience.
Ito, I remembered really clearly, and I almost felt it today. The moment when you thought you were going to just fade away, and then somebody came and touched your hara, touched your back, and suddenly, I experienced with Aki Sensei and other people, it's wow. So it just made me appreciate how important community is, and practicing together how really important it is, even when you're feeling yourself. You know that there are people still going around you, and you keep going for them, and somebody will help you, and then you can help somebody else. It's I really felt that today. I remember that very strongly. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that reminds me of when we've done Eiko Dai in pairs, and we both have our arms extended, and we are, connecting to support. And you're right. You get a little bit more. Yeah. Good memory. Yes, Lisette.
Everyone knows that Picasso's painting, two
Oh,
women
yeah.
running.
The two women, yeah.
On the beach, I think it is, yeah.
I didn't know Picasso studied Eiko Dai. Wow.
We did the other day at the regular class I have, we did the Eiko Dai, but Christine, my sensei, she said that now it's A and A, no A anymore. Is that new? Or
What's the question?
she said that we used to do Eiko Dai with A and A, right? Like we did today, but the other day.
Good idea. A good question. There is a two kind of way practice.
Wait.
Okay. So and inhale, that's one way. But ongoing like Kotodama exercise. One breath.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Anyone who has not really studied Eiko Dai in the big field, I wanted you to get experience at some point in the near future. Okay, and anyone who did a lot of Eiko Dai in the past, you could do it again, of course, but you don't have to. This kind of virtual dojo, you can practice image work. But anyone who never done actual Eiko Dai exercise in the big field, I really want you to experience it and feel actual sensation. Then after that, you can keep practicing in the virtual dojo. So that's one thing. And then another one I recommend is the Musoi. Okay. Again, Musoi can be practiced in the virtual dojo like this. But in the night, you could go out to your garden, backyard. You can practice. Or nice park under the night sky, you can practice. Or maybe nighttime is more scary, but daytime, you can go to the forest and you can practice. I really want you to experience Musoi when it's dark. For instance, in the night, you're doing in the field or even in your backyard like this. You know that some night there's no moon. And energy is so different, totally different. So I really want you to experience Musoi like this. And then, of course, this complete dark night is once a month. So you have to practice once a month, every month at least. Actually, there is a story in Chinese Qigong exercise, serious Qigong, esoteric Qigong exercise. You know, they do kind of standing meditation like this. Which is very similar to the Hoten Kokyuho. And traditionally, it's recommended to practice this form in the night, in the cemetery. And because you know the Chinese philosophy, yin yang, and excess and deficiency, and the cemetery has a lot of kind of, simply Shintaido's ways, cemetery has a lot of feeling. So you don't need to go to cemetery in the night. But I recommend you to practice musoi in the dark night in the nature. So, of course, as you experience, this is unstable, uncomfortable like this. And if it's completely dark in the nature, sometimes you start having fear. Ooh, I'm not sure how long I can do it. But you need to get used to, you don't need to overcome fear, but this is very important, uncomfortable and no confidence and some kind of, this is very important. So it makes you very humble. And actually you study this way, when you come back, normal life, right, you really, really appreciate civilization. So that's kind of yin and yang. So anyway, that's my experience. How much time we have? 10 minutes. Okay. Rolling pen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is related to Eiko Dai. And also it's related to diamond head cut or sunrise sunset exercise. Okay. Anyway, you know the Big Bang theory of Big Bang. It is said our great big universes keep expanding. That's one of the example of Eiko Dai. In the text of Eiko Dai, there is no closing, no end of Eiko Dai. Tenshin Goso will come back and start again. And Eiko Dai is no formal closing. Right now, as an exercise, come back and come back. It's kind of Age-oroshi feeling like this. So that's we did. Okay, now this is my imagination. Okay, Eiko Dai practice on the big field, kind of flat field, and you go like this. It said horizon, the big field. Okay, or sometimes we do circle like this. That's the way like it. But in imagination, like Columbus, as Columbus found American continent, or Magellan went through the idea they had is our planet before the Columbus or Magellan, our planet, our ground is complete, our planet, our world is flat. But at some point, Galileo or whatever like this, people start talking about our planet is a ball, like a ball. So Columbus, as you know, Columbus started going like this. Then you arrive. He arrived. He and his crew arrived at American continent. And Magellan went keep going like this. And he didn't make Japan, but his goal was Japan. So anyway, my idea of Eiko-Dai is you keep going like this. So our planet is ball like this. So Eiko-Dai, ongoing Eiko-Dai will come like this. So I told you many times like this, Tenchijin, we blue sky is here like this. But physically speaking, this is an English joke. How are they doing is in Australia? And Brits say, oh, they are hanging, like bats is hanging. So their blue sky is in a way far beyond of our planet, this outside. So when I do imagination, I do Eiko-Dai, it's very like ongoing. So, and the Big Bang. So, the rolling like this. Usually you can spread pizza or pie crust like this, make it flat. And Charles had the idea of painting brush painting the sky. So my idea is now rolling, ongoing like the Eiko-Dai like this. The other side planet. Of course, here we cannot go other side of planet. Okay, so it's kind of like you go up like this. And extending night sky, and the other side. You go other side of planet. Wow. Oh. And keep going. No end. And back to Tensou. Kind of kayak, reverse stroke mode, back to Tensou. And reverse stroke. And forward stroke from here like this. Ongoing. Just about 8 times. Okay, mode of room. And weight of rolling pin is perfect. If it's too heavy, it's became like weight lifting. If too light, you don't feel any effect to this. So completely relaxed. It's kind of musoi, humble mode. Slightly facing down, opening Meimon. And open your stance, weight lifting mode. Yeah. So you can roll your rolling pin over the stomach, chest, throat. And Tensou mode, and far beyond. Eiko-Dai, beyond the horizon. Start going other side of planet. Wow. and come back where you are. Ongoing Eiko Dai. About 4 to 8 times. And let your eye travel. Eiko Dai, you should not look down, but here, this exercise, we go to other side of the planet, so you can look down. And arriving Shoko mode, then reach out, Ageoroshi mode, and reverse stroke, ongoing, no end of Eiko Dai. Then you can go any direction, like kind infinitive, sign of infinitive. Arrangement of 中段切り払い。And diagonal, kayak, reverse stroke. And reach out far front. Way. And reach out, gravity effect. So rolling pin arriving to floor. Rolling pin aligned behind yourself. Reach out, ageoroshi mode. Lift. Still looking down. And the more you move your rolling pin behind yourself, behind the head. Reach out like Shintaido jump mode. Look up and keep going. One more time, last other way around. Like Shintaido jump mode. And finally look up tensor. And maximum spin your body. And kayak reverse stroke. And reach out. And pull your rolling pin back. And close your eye. Let your rolling pin follow the gravity effect. Okay, wala wala. Setu. Okay, last 5-10 minutes talk.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing this all with us, Ito. And I just got one observation about Musoi. Yes, it's unstable and you don't know where you are. But I was also thinking it gives us an opportunity to search for the truth, to search the stableness. It gives you an opportunity when you're swaying. There is an unstableness to it, and you're trying to find, and it's a little bit frightening maybe, but it gives you the opportunity to search. It gives you the opportunity to, if you're in a state like that, it gives you the opportunity to find the truth. And that's just an observation. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, this is a challenge. This is always a challenge. And
Yeah.
have you studied Bojutsu? In Bojutsu, there is a exercise called balance ball, like this. Long football like this. You put the ball like this from here on the
Yes.
palm, and you balance like this.
Yes.
It is. So in a way, Musoi is you doing is like balancing. It's very difficult, challenging, but balancing out.
Mm. But
So
there
it's
is a,
develop a sense of
yes, exactly. There's a point where you find that the true balance.
Right.
It gives you the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well said, Marianne.
Hi. What I realize is the vulnerability of that stance. I mean, it's not a stance, but it's a great equalizer. With the eyes closed, and you're all just equally vulnerable. And I never felt it like that until you made us think, okay, what are you feeling in that? And because our feet are together, it's such an unstable physical position. And I would assume the human body, it just makes you want to just keep trying to balance and find it. And I know that you can't stay still because you're constantly a vulnerable human being. But with those eyes closed and shutting down, I just thought, boy, if anybody came and just touched me, I'd fall over. And I would assume everybody else would be in a similar position. Yes. You're extremely vulnerable. And then it's truly, truly humbling. And I don't think when I was younger that I felt that. It's just, you just said, okay, go into that mode. And I don't think I connected with everybody else in a very vulnerable position. And then as soon as you open up with your foot, then you're stable. Then you are being born. I mean, I guess that's the second. Yeah, you've stepped out and you have that stability. You are kind of becoming a human being. But it's just the physicality of having your feet together, kind of bowing and going down. And just being just a little tiny human being that is very vulnerable.
Jane, you probably can't see because of all the little mini screens, but a lot of I'm letting you know, a lot of people were nodding their heads and in agreement with your comment. So when you said probably others feel it, I saw a lot of head nods. So you.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't didn't strike me until we were just going through this today. It's like, whoa, that's what, and when people were saying they are unstable, I kept wanting to say vulnerable and unstable, because it is a physical unstable position for a human being to be in, with your feet together and trying to stay there.
Well
It's an
said.
unnatural stance.
Well said, Jane.
Okay, done.
Done.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ito Sensei.
Thank you, everyone.